All right, well, welcome back, everybody, and thanks for watching the Cypress Sports Show brought to you by Coach's Corner, your go-to spot before and after the game. I'm Jeff Russell here with Mark Slevcove. As always, today we are going to talk to the guru of Orange County sports, the Orange County Register sports reporter Steve Fryer will join us later, give us kind of the basketball playoff preview and get an update on all of our CIF games as we move on. We're going to talk to some more athletes and staff members, of course, in our Subs and Grubs segment, How Well Do You Know? But before we get to Fryer and the winter playoff preview, let's get an update from Coach Slevcove on what's going on with the CIF sports and the upcoming spring season, Coach.
That's right. Our winter sports season, regular season ended last week, so teams are into the playoffs. Our boys basketball team finished second in league with an 8-2 record and a 16-12 overall record. The boys made the playoffs. They're going to face Downey on Wednesday night at Downey. If they win that game, we should have a home game on Friday night, hopefully. Stay tuned for that. Girls basketball went undefeated in league, earning a league title in convincing fashion. The girls played well all season long and earned a bye in the first round of the playoffs. They'll open up CIF play with the second round contest on Saturday night at Cypress versus the winner of Claremont and Aliso Niguel. Our boys soccer team lost their final match versus Tustin last week and missed out on the playoffs. They have the same record, 4-5-1 as last year, but it was only good enough for fourth place this year in the Empire League. Girls soccer team finished league play with a 7-2-1 record for sole second place behind Pacifica. The girls will travel to West Torrance today on Wednesday for their first round CIF game. If they win, we should hopefully be home on Friday. Stay tuned for an update on that game. Girls water polo team won the league going 5-0 for the fourth time in a row. In fact, that's 4 undefeated league seasons in a row for the girls. And they opened up CIF with the victory in the first round last night versus Villa Park at Cypress with a 10-9 victory with that winning goal coming with just 6 seconds left. It was a great ball game. And our wrestlers, our boys competed in league finals last Saturday. And listen to this, Coach. We had 7 league champions, 5 runner-ups, and 1 third-place finisher. That means 13 boys from our wrestling team have qualified for CIF individuals that will take place this Friday and Saturday. Good luck, fellas, advancing on to CIF Masters. And on the girls' side, we had 7 league champions, 1 runner-up, and 3 third-place finishers for a total of 11 CIF qualifiers for this weekend on Friday and Saturday as well. So quite a turnout for the wrestlers. Great performance by many of our teams throughout the league season.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about the basketball portion of it, but wrestling has been doing historically very well. They really went pretty deep with some athletes last year, and hopefully they'll be able to continue on this year as well. Water polo last year, deep run into the playoffs. They got a tough second round match at Sunny Hills. And then our girls soccer team, man, they just are so consistent with what they do. But that first round game against West Torrance isn't going to be any kind of a gimme at all. They're really, really good. And Coach, you and I were at the water polo game last night watching some great goalkeeping at the end. And man, what an unbelievable finish to that, getting that last goal with just seconds left. Really excited for the girls on that. All right. Well, a reminder again for those gated sports, those basketball tickets only going to be on sale for the games on GoFan. So make sure you plan ahead. This week, of course, we're obviously going to check in with our athletes and staff. Another little different version. We've been shaking it up a little bit with the Subs and Grubs segment for How Well Do You Know? We're going to move around a little bit and do something different this week. So this week's How Well Do You Know is the sound of sports. Let's see what they had to say. Hey, we're here at Subs and Grubs. We are ready for How Well Do You Know? Are you guys? Let's go inside, check it out.
Here we go, coming into Subs and Grubs. Number 1 employee, Jacob Piper, senior
Yes,
Cypress
sir.
High School. All right, we're here with April Manera again, English teacher, yearbook specialist. Mr. Gold, everyone's favorite sub, basketball player, Isley candidate. Mr. Pfeiffer. Mr. Joe Saldana, a program district administrator and former Centurion assistant principal. All right, we're here with senior soccer player, Savannah Salcedo. English teacher, Miss Park. We want to know how well you know these sounds. Are you ready?
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Super Bowl? Something to do with football.
That sounds like an ESPN theme. Is that what it is?
NFL Monday Night Football, baby. Are you ready for some football? Remember when Hank, what was that guy's name? Hank Williams, was it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I remember.
Welcome to Monday Night Football.
I'm gonna guess that's what they play at medieval times for our senior event.
When
You're
the,
cheating
for the
back there.
queen.
For the queen.
For the queen, right?
The Olympics.
Man, if you know it, you know it.
All right.
1984 Olympic soundtrack, baby. We had 4 Cypress people in the stands playing piano. Well, 2 playing piano in that stadium at Memorial Coliseum. I stood right across from Cypress High School when the torch went by.
Yeah, me too.
1984.
I did too.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You were humming it.
Well, yeah, because it's a familiar tune, but I don't know. When you said sounds of sports, I thought it was going to be something like the sound of a slap shot from the blue line.
We're not done yet.
I don't know if it's like a sport, but maybe like a marching band.
Sounds like Star Wars.
Ah, this is so familiar.
It's a banger, though. I don't know. Soccer?
Give me a hard one. Come on. Hard one. That's Wii Sports. Like,
man.
That's like crushing or something, right? That's Wii Sports.
That's Wii Sports. I know that one. That's easy. That one's easy.
A sports video game.
Excellent.
When I call Slevcove to ask for a favor, that's what goes on.
Calling Jeff Russell. That's a busy signal on a stupid phone.
So what happens if I don't pick up the phone at Subs and Grubs?
Baseball? Context clues. I'm guessing baseball.
Maybe soccer? Girls soccer?
Vin Scully. That's Kirk Gibson's home run.
Vince Scully. Kurt Gibson home run for the Dodgers.
Huh. That's interesting.
Is that a basketball? Is that like a doom, 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 doom? Is that Stephen Curry? No, he dribbles faster with double hands, right? That might be tennis. That might be Roger Federer with a nice dum.
Yeah. Like a bouncy ball, like the ball that you play in handball. Oh my god. That's sports?
It's a sound from a sport.
From a sport. Step dancing a sport?
That's a cricketer coughing.
Basketball? I think basketball.
What part?
Dribbling?
Okay, there we go.
This is hockey. This is the Russia-United States game. Who doesn't know these?
Basketball. A three-pointer.
This
Yes! 1980 Olympics, U.S. versus whoever it was.
The Soviets.
The Soviets,
Okay.
the Russians.
There you go.
Is it a car whizzing by? Horror movie stuff. What's the scariest sport out there? Say football again? I don't know. Football.
Well, that sounds like, the first part of it sounds like something going into water, like diving into water, but I don't know what the backwash sound was. So I'm, again, nonplussed.
Any guess?
Michael Phelps.
So that was in the second Alien movie, right? When the alien was coming out. No, I don't know. Is that like Madden football or PlayStation 2? I don't know what that is. What the heck is that?
That's the intro that plays at the start of your guys' thing. Yeah.
Well, thanks again to Subs and Grubs for sponsoring How Well Do You Know? Hey, that swish sound you heard kind of sounds like Slevcove shooting nothing but net, coach, always. Today, we are super excited. We're going to get some info and talk basketball playoff preview. We sit down here and chat with our friend, sports reporter Steve Fryer. Steve, thanks for being here. How you doing?
Good to be with everybody.
Well, Steve, we came out of a little clip there and sponsored by Subs and Grubs, a local sandwich shop. And we got to get to the important stuff first. What's your favorite sandwich?
I like a mixture of Italian meats. I think something like that. Lettuce and tomato, always good to go. Not a big onions guy, don't want to be having somebody get tortured by my breath after onions and peppers, and a little oil and vinegar thing, and a splash of pepper on there, and yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
Perfect. Any side dish or anything? Bag of chips? Any potato salad?
I'm a potato salad addict. I love potato salad. Don't like coleslaw,
100%.
man. That stuff's the devil. The coleslaw is awful. Macaroni salad, that stuff's terrible. I think they should be banned.
Yeah, I'm with you on the potato salad. Underrated as a side dish, in my opinion. I think it's really good. So, all right. Well, let's jump into playoff preview. Let's start with the boys stuff, but let's start kind of thinking overall playoff system and the competitive equity portion of it. Is it really competitively equitable the way we're doing it currently?
There's always going to be anomalies, and there's no perfect way to do it. I've been following this thing for 30 plus years, right? And, every year somebody's not going to like it. Some people are going to like it, but there's no perfect system. If anybody thinks they've got one, bring it to the CF Southern section and show them, and take it to the council meeting where, everything happens. That's, if you want to change anything, you come up with a proposal, you take it to them. This is what you got. Complaining on Twitter really doesn't push the rock too far, So, I like the idea of having this playoff points profiled, over a couple years. There's not every school's like, the top 3 or 5 teams in the county that just reload every year. You know how it is, Jeff. You've coached for a long time. You have a great senior class, and then next year, not so good. But that following year, sometimes you're in a higher division because what your senior class did. And so that doesn't always work out so good. So not everybody, reloads and has the same strength of team, 3 or 4, whatever years in a row. But I think this is as close as we're going to get. I like the playoff points, the points profile thing that takes into account strength of league, schedule, how far you got in the playoffs, and in what division, the higher division you did well in, then the higher division you're going to be in subsequently. Does it need tinkering? Does it need adjusting? Yeah, but you can't adjust a system that doesn't exist. So here we are.
Do you think basketball can get to the football model where you're being placed into your CIF divisions based on your current year records, or really does it come down to you got to have a squad, whether it's based on the last 2 years or this year's? I know Cypress High School boys basketball have never been past the quarterfinals, and we've had some good teams, and it doesn't matter what system we're in or what division we're in, we've come up a little bit short. But is it a point where we can get to the current year system like football?
I love that idea. Easy for me to say because I don't have to do 12 32-team brackets or something crazy. If you're doing, a bunch of 16-team brackets, you can parse it out pretty good, I think. But 32 team brackets, that's however hundreds of teams that is. Boy, I don't know, but doing it like how good you are this year, I think that has a lot of merit. I think is it worth a try? Yeah, I think it is. But again, I don't have to do all the paperwork to figure that out. So it's easy for me to sit here and say, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's jump into our Division II bracket. I know you've taken a peek at it. Top 4 seeds: Rancho Christian, Pacifica Christian from Orange County, balanced scoring team. La Mirada with Julian Gomez at 26 plus points a game. Diamond Bar, the 4 seed with Malcolm Bell. Were you surprised at any of those 4 top seeds?
No, not at all. It's based solely on the poll, which the coaches advisory committee puts together the poll. Any rankings, whether it be my top 25, that's at ocvarsity.com, ocregister.com. Any ranking is subject to, it looks good, or man, that stinks. All of them are questionable. You could do 20 different versions of it, and they'd all be okay. So I think it's okay. Rancho Christian's really good. I know about them some. But it looks like they did okay with this. How you find out if they did okay, when you get to the semifinals, the top 4 seeds in the semis, then they got it right. But that's the only way to find out.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at Rancho actually being number 1, just looking at them as I was looking through some state rankings. Some of the state D2 rankings have them at number 11, with 3 of the other seeds being higher than them, but yet seated in CIF lower. So I was wondering, were they missing guys? Did we miss something when we were looking at it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. The Inland Empire stuff is I'm trying to keep up with 80 teams here. And so, really, I just know that Rancho Christian's played a pretty good schedule. They got in some of the big tournaments early on, and they're always placing one of the elite divisions in the December tournaments. And that's pretty much the depth of my knowledge of them. As far as Orange County teams, this division, I've seen Dana Hills play. They're pretty good. But they would have to, if they advance, they're going to have to play Pacifica Christian, which is a really good team. You mentioned a balanced scoring team. They got some guys, man. They got this Salik Saman kid who can score and shoot. Parker Strauss, who's a Swiss Army knife sort of guy, can play really good defense, can score for you. Really nice passer also. And then also in this division, you got Sonora, which is got the kid Yoda Oke, and he can score. And they're really good. And Mike Murphy's a pretty good coach. He's been around, gosh, Jeff, as long as me, it seems, right? And so he's got a good club there. Looking at the other county teams in this thing, jeepers. Portola's pretty good. That league is actually pretty good. I have none of those Pacific Coast League teams in my top 25, but I saw 7 of them play. And they're all every week, and I come up with this long list of 40 candidates for the top 25. And they've always had guys there. Portola. Seychell's really good since Carter Bryant, the transfer from Fountain Valley, got eligible. Carter Bryant can play. If there's any player in Orange County that I see is who's the guy that I think is going to play college basketball one day, I think it's Carter Bryant, the sophomore, the junior rather at Seychell.
Yeah,
he's got offers everywhere, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Anybody who thinks they got a shot at him has offered, I'm sure. Yep, he's good.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit of that Pacific Christian
Yeah.
Yeah, Parker Strauss. I mean, they got basically 5 guys, who are double-digit guys. I mean, they
Yep.
got him at 12 points plus a game. Alex Stewart at almost 10. Tanner Deal at almost 10. The Salim you talked about at almost 10, and then EJ Spielman at 9. So
Yeah.
I think you have them rated right now, right? Number 1 in the county at this point.
That is correct. They are number 1. And there were a lot of candidates for number 1. This is the first time, since I've been doing this in 1990-91 season, this is the first time Modern Day is not number 1 at the end of the season. Since all these years I've been doing it. We've had 5 different teams occupy the number 1 position. Orange Lutheran, Santa Margarita, Modern Day, Parker, Pacifica Christian. I think I'm missing somebody. It'll come to me eventually. Huh?
Yeah, Canyon started at 1.
Yeah, Canyon started out number 1, and then they got injured. Gosh darn it. The Goodall brothers, the twins, got hurt early on. And how Nate Harrison has pieced that together and won the league title again. He's got a really good player named Brandon Benjamin, and you could do a lot with Brandon Benjamin. He's quite the player, but he's pulling dudes off the bench that, and they play that style that just drives you crazy. It's they're in your face defensively. They move the ball fast on offense. Every loose ball, if you're wearing a Canyon uniform and you're not on the floor trying to get a loose ball, Nate Harrison's going to kill you at practice the next day, man. So you better go after it and get your raspberries and your strawberries on your knees and elbows, because otherwise you're gonna run till you're dead the next day. So Canyon's done a really great job with it. They're number 1. It's been Pacifica Christian, going back to them, really sound team. Jeff Barakoff's a really good coach. I saw them beat Fairmont Prep a couple weeks ago, and like you were saying, Jeff, a bunch of different guys contribute on that team, and in that game in particular, all of them did. I like the guy Tanner Deal because his nickname is Sarge. What kind of a guy you think Sarge is at practice? Yeah,
Gotta be a tough guy.
Hey, so you mentioned Jeff Barakoff and Mike Murphy. We gonna see a Sonora Pacific Christian matchup. I think Barakoff played for Murphy back in the day, didn't he?
Jeffrey did play over there and one of the better players that Mike has had. Jeff was an all-county first-team guy for us his senior year at Sonora back in 1990 or whatever. And then, so that would be a quarterfinal matchup. I hope it's at Sonora. Should they match up? Sometimes you got to do coin flips, and whoever, has played the least amount of home games up at that point. But Pacific Christian at Sonora, yeah, I might just put that in the quarterfinal right now and put that as my game to cover on Valentine's Day. Jeff Barakoff back at Sonora to coach against Mike Murphy on Valentine's Day. Man, that story just wrote itself.
The winner of that game going to make it to the finals. Is that what you see coming from that bottom bracket, or is there something at the top that catches your eye?
You mentioned La Mirada and the Kid Gomez, yeah. And they're pretty good. But yeah, Pacific Christian, just a really all around really good team. They seem to like each other a lot too. I mean, after that Fairmont Prep game, they did that thing like, after kids soccer games where everybody joins hands and the little kids run through the tunnel. I wouldn't be surprised they also had orange slices, after the game, and maybe they all went to Lamppost Pizza, but they like each other a lot on that team. And Jeff and Mark, you guys been around sports a lot. If you got a team that likes each other, you got a family community thing going, that makes up for maybe any talent lapses you have. Guys are playing for each other. They like going to practice. They're going to stay late. You tell them to shoot 20 free throws, they'll shoot 25 just because they feel like they should shoot 25. That's a good thing.
So our first round, let's get to our first round opponent, Downey in the first round. You talked about Mike Murphy at Sonora. Well, Larry Shelton at Downey, been there forever, retiring this year after, I think, 35 or so years as a head coach. Quite a run for him, for sure. His teams are always well coached. He's got 7 guys with 3 years of varsity experience. What can we expect from them in our game tonight?
Hey, who's one of the hotter teams going lately? Cypress. They're on a hot streak. Derek's got them playing their best ball right now, the best time to do so. It is at Downey. That's a tough place to go play from my memory. I haven't been there in a long, but that's going to be a tough one. But if Cypress, has been scoring at a good clip lately, coming out of a good league, finishing second ahead of Tustin's pretty good. Lost to Korean Lutheran, but, Korean Lutheran is a private school power, and let's see how much longer they stay in the Empire League, right? But, yeah, I like Cypress's chance in that game, fellas.
Yeah, we think it's going to be a pretty up-tempo, fast-paced game. They got some shooters. We like to play really fast.
Yep.
You've seen us play a couple times this year. Anything with us that you like?
The pace, they played hard for all 32 minutes is my recollection of when I saw Cypress play this year. It was a loss, and I forget who they lost to, because at the end of the season, everything kind of blends in on me, and I barely know where my car keys are right now. So,
we couldn't tell that today by how long it took for you to get on. We can't tell.
I thought we were supposed to do this at 1, baby. It's 1 o'clock right now. So, hey, it's 1 o'clock. Hi, guys. But no, Cypress, they played hard. They played. Derek always gets his guys to go, and it's, you guys know how it is at Cypress. Every sport that I cover that has Cypress involved in it, it's a full tilt boogie, full effort group. So I think that's what you got with Derek's group.
Yeah, I think we take pride in that at Cypress for all of our programs. Really, got to outwork people in order to be competitive, and Derek's team obviously is no exception to that. When you look at the division, you already mentioned Sonora. You got Redondo Union in there, who's obviously comes from a historically good background and a great league. You got Walnut, maybe Cypress making a run. Who is your sleeper, and who is your pick to win it all in Division II?
Well, I like Pacifica Christian. I really do. Rancho Christian's got some athletes, is my understanding of them, right? But I really like that buzz around Pacifica Christian. I think they're the team that's going to go and represent us pretty well. Or represent Orange County pretty well. Looking up and down this thing again. If you're looking for a dark horse sort of thing, maybe that Walnut team. Hacienda League's pretty good. Number 2 team out of Hacienda. Maybe they'll spill somebody's wagon over. They probably play La Mirada in the quarters, and then Pacific Christian in the semis. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe Walnut. You never know with kids. How do you guys know what you're getting out of your kids? You guys know how it is. You can have a great week of practice, and the kids stink it up on game night, or you can have a lousy week of practice, then the guys play great during the game. Whatever the sport is, you guys know that better than me. You never know the psyche of high school kids what you're going to get, which makes it entertaining for me and perhaps aggravating for you fellas.
Very true. Very true. Seen it happen all the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over to the girls. I know it's not your first priority. You definitely focus on the boys, and Dan Albano is the girls guy. But our girls team is in the 2AA bracket as well. We have a first round bye, and then we face probably Claremont, the number 8 seed, in round 2 Saturday night. We had a solid season, 10-0 in league, but right out of the gates there, we might get a number 8 seed. Tough draw for the Centurions.
Well, yeah, but the good thing is it's a home game, and you get to go scout that first game too, right? So you get a little fresh film and get a fresh look at the other team, and that seems to always help no matter what the sport is.
Yeah, definitely an advantage there. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, Claremont, 2 girls, Mariah Anderson and Chloe Ogamba, scoring in double digits with 14.5 and 11 points a game. And then they have another girl, Kaima, sorry if I messed that up, Johnson, at 9.5 a game. They're all 3 shooting over 40%, really in the mid-40s to higher. When you have a girls team with 3 legitimate scorers who can put the ball in the basket, it can be really tough for us to defend that, right? I mean, especially.
Oh, yeah. Anytime that you got more, 3 options, 3 scoring options, man alive, that is just really tough stuff. And, if we're talking about girls basketball, I think the team that I really like out of Orange County, I saw them play the other day. Rosary avoiding that open division was pretty good for them. The Royals are good. Now they got one player, Maya Barnes, who does a lot for them. I think, I worry, does she do too much? Got to carry the ball up the floor, all these other things. But she's really good. And they got a kid, Addison Clark, who's really good. But the girls' team to talk about, of course, is Mater Dei. Gosh, that team goes 12 deep and they don't miss a thing. They are incredible. A long time ago, there was a girl named Jody Anton who played at Brea Olinda. She was the County Player of the Year, 91, 92, right around there. She's got a daughter, Kaylee, that is a freshman on this team. She's going to be the County Player of the Year her senior year if she keeps on playing as well as she did when I saw her play last week. Really good player, does everything well. They got an Addie Deal who can score. Johnson is a big post player for them. They seem to have everything they want. And then they got Kevin Kiernan, the coach, who, like his counterpart on the boys' side, Gary McKnight, knows how to coach in big games, knows how to get teams ready for the CIF tournament. That helps a lot.
Is there any girls team in the county? Can Mater Dei beat Sierra Canyon?
Yeah, they can do that. They're seated third right now. Etiwanda's really good. Sage Hill, I saw Sage Hill play. They're in the open division too, and they're good. They got this a young lady, Kit, and I forget her last name, but golly gee, she's a good player too. What's really interesting to me, everybody, is how good girls basketball is these days. It used to be like when I was first doing this a lot in the early 90s, you had an upper class of teams, 5 or whatever it was, and then a lower class, large lower class, but not like a large middle class, where, of good teams, not, excellent, not bad, but good team. Now you got a big middle class of good teams, youth coaching, better, girls just learning how to play, better youth programs, whatever. Girls basketball has picked it up. It is really good. And you want to watch kids like set a proper screen and throw a proper pass and do all the move correctly without the ball in their hands, go to a girls game or go to a Garden Grove League boys basketball game. That's my favorite basketball there. Those kids all run like crazy in the Garden Grove League. They all run, they all press, they all trap, they catch the ball correctly and then pivot the correct. They do. It's fundamental basketball 101 when you watch a Garden Grove League game. And also the interesting thing is all the kids, all the student section people in the Garden Grove League, those kids all hate each other. It is like, what the heck is going on, And then after the game, they're all nice. But during the game, man, you want to hear some really creative insults? Go to a Garden Grove League boys basketball game. Where'd they get that from? It is fun.
I think
the girls basketball is the same thing.
I think one of those things you mentioned earlier with the playoffs really pertains to the girls, right? You're not seeing the 87 points to 12, 65 to 4.
Right.
You're not seeing that now with that competitive equity. They're much more balanced each game. It's way better than the way it used to be with just enrollment and things like that.
I think you got to give credit to you guys, the athletic directors too, because you guys are involved in releaguing and creating new leagues and things of that nature too. And you guys are getting it right. You're getting it right. There's always going to be somebody that don't fit in some league, Western in the Orange League in football, killing everybody, right? After being in the Empire League, they went from the Orange League, the Empire League, then back to the Orange and killing everybody in the Orange League again in football and stuff like that. But you guys move things around pretty good. And so, a lot of that competitive equity you guys talking about, because you guys are putting together good leagues.
Well, a lot of info there, obviously, but we thought before you go, we do a segment called How Well Do You Know? And each week we do this segment, we ask, crazy questions. It might be like, how well do you know? We ask some athletes, how well do you know, the rules to soccer or some slang term that you might use in a sport. Or last week, you probably would be good. We asked, how well do you know the 90s? And we asked kids different questions about that. But this week is, how well do you know some sounds, mostly sports sounds, but not all sports sounds. Are you willing to give it a shot? See if you can pick out any of these sounds?
Let's go. This sounds wild.
He's got this. He's going to know most of these.
Turn up my hearing aid. Well, young man.
I'm going to play the sound.
Here. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'll play the sound. Wait for the sound to end. I'll pause it, and then you can make your guess. A couple of these you'll hear like more than once. So I'll kind of give you you're ready to roll.
All right.
Good?
Sure. Fired
All
up.
right, here's sound number 1.
That sound means I got to go check the barbecue to make sure the food's ready so I can watch Monday Night Football.
There you go. All right, you're 1 for 1. Here we go.
I went to the opening ceremony of the Olympics in 1984 in Los Angeles, and when are they going to play that song? All we got was Rhapsody in Blue with 80 pianos over there. Then Rayford Johnson lighting the torch. That was bitching. I love that.
This might get tougher here. Maybe not. Yeah, I think this one.
It's a piece of classical music, that little piano run at the end. It's not Mozart. But I don't know what it is. Is that the sound I was supposed to hear when I correctly got on this conference call, but I messed it all up? Was that sound that, hey, you're connected? Was that
maybe.
No.
Yeah. If you had young kids, well, maybe not that old kids, but
My kid's in their 30s, buddy. I'm a grandfather.
It's a little older. That's Wii Sports.
Oh, awesome.
Game machine. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Here's one.
That's the busy signal.
You nailed it. Okay. You're going to hear this a couple times.
That's my points on my pinball machine going up, and I just won a free game.
Close. That's a swish, right? Ball going through the net. That's a
swish. I got a chain net. I got a basketball hoop in my house. I got a chain net because I like that splash.
I figured you just never heard that sound before, so you didn't.
I heard a lot of clanks. I heard a lot of Fryer, you're shooting too much. Come out of the game. Fryer, you're shooting too much. That's what I used to hear when I played basketball.
All right, I think you'll get this one.
Former Detroit Tiger Kirk Gibson hitting a home run at Dodger Stadium off Dennis Eckersley.
I love the former Detroit Tiger part. All right, here we go. I think you'll get this one as well.
It's the Olympic team beating the Ruskies in the semifinals. And then they would go on and win the gold medal game. Coached by Herb Brooks, Minnesota guy.
There you go. Last one.
I interviewed Mike Ruzioni one time, who was on that team. That was fun.
That would be a great interview, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was cool.
Okay, you're going to hear this 2 times. It's your last one. It's going to be tough.
Go ahead. That's the freezer door at the coroner's office where they keep all the bodies in there. That's it closing. That's that sound of closing. Don't ask why you know that, please.
It might as well be. That was the start of our show. That's what it starts like to start the show. I'm sure plenty of people shut the door as soon as they hear it. Apparently, we heard that today from Slevcove's brother, who turns the channel the moment he hears the sound. So anyway, well done, my friend. We appreciate we appreciate you being here today.
Yeah, I love talking basketball. It's the playoffs are a lot of fun. You know, a one and done situation, pretty rough. Baseball, one and done still. I can't believe we haven't gotten to like best 3 of 5 in baseball yet. But it's a fun time of year. You got basketball going. You got wrestling championships for this weekend. Then the wrestling master meet. Soccer's going full bore in the playoffs. Boys and girls. Water polo's flying around. Baseball starts this week. Baseball starting on February 11th. It's still technically winter. Let's wait. Why can't we just wait to the Loera tournament in March like we used to? But now we got all this overlap is driving me crazy. But this is what we got, and it's a lot of fun. I love what I do, and Cypress is a big reason why I have a great job. Coach Feldman's Cypress football teams the last couple of years has just been an absolute blast to watch play. Really like that quarterback you had, Aiden Houston. Yeah, he was something to watch. And Monteleone was great. Matt Morrell, baseball too. Coach Weber's baseball program. Basketball under Jeff Russell. Basketball under Derek Mitchell. Just a plethora of wonderful things. I always like pulling into Cypress, man, because every time I go, if it's a baseball game, park in the back end, walk out, see one of the most beautiful baseball fields ever, right? Webb loves that place, and he always takes really good care of me. And then you have a good barbecue all the time. A lot of times the guy pulls out the grill on the trailer. Yeah, show up hungry. We're going to Cypress baseball game.
That's it. A lot of stuff going on. We appreciate you taking time. We appreciate you just in general and all you do for high school sports. You do a great job. And I'm sure people don't tell you enough, but we really do appreciate you and all your coverage of high school sports. So again, special thanks to Steve Fryer for being here today. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Subs and Grubs and Coach's Corner for supporting the show. You heard it. There's tons of stuff to get out there and watch. So get out there, watch those games, support those athletes in the winter for CIF. And as the spring gets started, let's get after it. Thanks again to everybody for watching, and we'll see you all next week.